guys, welcome back to What's Cooking Wednesdays, and today I'm going to show you how to make delicious restaurant style salsa. I hope this video inspires you to get out in your kitchen and cook a little bit during your quarantine time. So before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and the bell so you get notified when we post new videos. Let's get started with the salsa. Alright guys, for today's recipe, you're going to need 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes, 2 cans of diced tomatoes with green chilies, 1 onion, 1 whole lime, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 jalapeno, and then normally here I'd have 1 bunch of fresh cilantro, but because of quarantine the stores were completely out of cilantro, so I'm going to use this dried cilantro that I've had at the house. You'll also need a blender with a pulse setting or a food processor to make this. Alright, so we're going to start by just cutting our lime in half and setting it to the side, and then peel and chop your garlic. So one thing you can do here is lay your garlic down on the cutting board, and then put your knife over top, hit the knife, and that's going to help crack open that garlic a little bit, make it a little bit easier for you to peel. So once you're done with that, just chop up this garlic, and we're going to put all of this to a bowl to the side, and we'll put it in the blender all at once. Alright, so now we're just going to peel and chop up our onion. We just want this to be a medium chop, nothing too crazy because we are going to put it in that blender in just a little bit. But a trick here with onions is you don't want to cut the end where the roots were. If you leave that on there till the very end, it's supposed to not be as hard on your eyes, to make your eyes water as much. So I just cut all around it on this one especially because you can see a little bit of green on the onion. Once again, this is just what I had at my house. I'm just trying to use up all this food before it goes bad. So I just cut all the way around it on this one, and we're just doing a medium chop, putting all of this in the bowl to the side. Alright, so next is the jalapeno. If you have gloves at home, then use gloves for this. I just don't have any at the moment. But slice your jalapeno in half and get a spoon to scoop out all the seeds. Try not to pick those little seeds out with your hands because that's the spicy part. And especially, do not touch your face after you've done this. Immediately wash your hands after you've de-seeded this jalapeno. So I just scooped it into a bowl on the side and I'll throw it away. That way I don't have to pick it up at all. Just trying to reduce that, heat on my hands as much as possible. But just go ahead and de-seed them and start chopping. Alright, so we've prepped everything. Now we're going to put all these ingredients in the blender. I've got 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes. We're going to put those in first. Make sure you get all those little tomatoes out. And then after that, you are going to put in 2 cans of diced tomatoes with green chilies. And then we are going to go ahead and juice our lime in the blender. So I've just got this little hand juicer here. Juice that lime, and then we are going to add in all of our chopped vegetables. Make sure you get every little piece of garlic and onions and jalapenos out of that bowl though. My little helper wanted to join in. And then I'm just going to put the rest of the cilantro in there. Honestly, I don't know how it's going to taste with dried cilantro, but we're using it because that's all we have. But normally, throw in a whole bunch of cilantro, stems and all. Alright, put your lid on and then we will start pulsing our blender. So I've got it set on 10. And then we are going to just pulse this. If you had a food processor, then use a food processor. You don't want to turn on the blender part of this blender because it's going to just turn it into mush. We really just want this to be chopped and mixed really well. So I'm just going to pulse this, for about a minute or so until it's the consistency that you want. If you like really thick and chunky salsa, then don't pulse it as much. Just make sure you use that tamper with your blender to really help stir this up and get it all mixed really well. So just do that until you get the consistency that you like, and then you are done. Alright, so for this next bit, I'm just going to pour this in a half-gallon glass jar and put it in the refrigerator. I had a little friend that wanted to take my camera away at this point, so like I said, this is going to make a half a gallon of salsa. I, for some reason, was thinking it was making a gallon, which is why I set out a gallon's worth of jars, but it's still a half gallon, which is a lot of salsa. My family and I will be eating this for a few weeks. You really want this to sit in the refrigerator for about 24 hours so all the flavors can really just meld together. You could eat it immediately, but it's just going to taste better when it sits longer. But like I said, you can leave this in the refrigerator for a couple of weeks. Alright guys, so that's how you make this delicious salsa. It is super easy and delicious. I'm going to put this on my egg cups that I cook. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I hope it does inspire you to get in your kitchen a little bit and just use what you have. Just make the best recipe that you can with the ingredients that you have during this quarantine time. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye! Bye! Goodbye. My salsa, salsa, my salsa, my salsa, salsa, my salsa, my salsa, salsa, my salsa.